Wait a minute. Okay.
Welcome, students. We're going to start in about 2 minutes just to give folks time to come on in. Hey, Norma. Hey, Shania. Going to get started here soon.
Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Welcome. Getting started in just a little bit. We want to make sure folks have time to join us. Hey, Kayla. Hey, Tasha. Hey, Mia. Welcome.
Oh.
Getting started in just a minute. Hey, Cece and Princess, welcome. Welcome, everybody. We'll be getting started in just a minute.
I want theme music from now on.
Yeah, we need some intro music.
Nicole, you need to start tomorrow. Today, you need to think of what song you feel like tomorrow. We're going to play that.
Okay, I got it. I'm
All
gonna think
right.
on it.
Yeah, cool.
All
Maybe I should get a
right.
song.
Devin, you should get a music too.
We all gonna have our own intro music, huh?
But it's gonna change daily because it just feel like how I feel. I don't know how I feel today. I might
Well,
feel
let me
like
get my playlist together real quick.
feel like Duran Rio tomorrow. You don't know what I might feel like.
That's an interesting choice. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to personally thank you all for joining us for the second annual Madam Walker Legacy Center 2021 Summer Institute. My name is Mr. Devin, and I'm the Programs and Outreach Manager here at the Walker, and I'm thrilled to be one of your camp counselors for our 2021 Summer Institute. Now, before we jump in, I want to take a moment to ask you all to post in the chat your location. Tell us where you're from, per usual, and this time, along with telling us where you're from, tell us what your favorite subject is in school. I'm from Indianapolis, and my favorite subject to study in school was French and anything that involved a different language. What about you, Mr. Griff, Miss Nicole? What's your favorite subject in school, and where are you from?
My favorite subject has always been English. I always thought it was cool to vocabulary words and learning how to put the words together. That was my favorite. What about you, Miss Nicole?
Same. You took it right from me. I took every English or writing class that they had in high school and in college. I just loved it so much. I feel like they always had the coolest teachers too, because they're all hippie poets.
Right.
My second favorite was English. Well, while you're posting that in the chat, I'm going to tell you all a little bit about the Walker. Our mission here at the Madam Walker Legacy Center is to inspire, engage, and empower individuals in our culturally diverse community, both here in Indianapolis, Indiana, where the Madam Walker Legacy Center is based, and online. No matter where you live, welcome, and we hope you'll be back to learn, grow, and celebrate the legacy of Madam C.J. Walker again and again and again. All right, counselors, now it's time for us to turn you over to Mr. Griff and Miss Nicole. So, Miss Nicole, you already know that she loves tacos, sushi, shawarma, reading and writing essays and poetry, and you know that she's got a pretty big family. Please welcome Miss Nicole.
Hi, everybody.
Up next is Mr. Griff. He's a comedian with over 25 years of experience, and he's a father of 7. This dude's everywhere. Please welcome Mr. Griff.
He's back. What is y'all talking about? And you ain't say Nicole like Mensa. Mensa. Listen, I missed y'all so much last week. I'm feeling way better today. Nicole, what did I miss last week? Was it dancing? Was it poetry? Talk to me.
You picked the wrong weekend
Man.
to feel bad, but we had dancing, we drew, we learned proper breathing and voice exercises. It was good. It was
Man.
all about the arts. It was fun.
That sounds fun. Hey, you guys, if you get a chance, just talking about last week, just put it in the chat. What grade would you give last week? All together, you know, you don't have to put it individually. Just how did you feel about last week? Did you like it? Did you love it? Okay, what color am I feeling today? I'm feeling Miss Nicole's turquoise with a little tangerine on the inside.
Oh, okay. I like that color. I would say I'm feeling probably this color, that little lilac-y purple color. That's me today.
Oh, a
Yeah.
light-skinned purple.
I don't know anybody with that skin color, but yes, that nice little lilac.
Every time you put it close to the camera, it starts going with your background, so we can't really see it. But
Oh, wait.
so like a light purple.
Yes,
No,
a light purple. Just chilling today.
Okay, I like that. I'm looking at a lot of A pluses. Somebody said pink, purple, sky blue, and rainbow. Love it.
Well,
Love
rainbow
those
is like all
colors.
the colors.
That's
a
Genesis.
cheat, Genesis.
But look
I
how
like it.
Look how specific she was. Pink, purple, sky blue, and the rainbow colors.
And all of that.
That's good. So I'm excited to be back, you guys. Just really rested and recouped from last week. I'm fine. Cece says green with pink. She would be a proper AKA. Ask somebody about it. It's fine. They love those colors. We're going to be talking about financial literacy with the 100 Black Men in Indianapolis. Now, when we say financial literacy, that might be too big of a word or a phrase, but we're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about how you can save some money. We're going to talk about how you can earn money, what you do with money. I've taught my kids all the time, if I give you $10, how much did I give you? And they must say, you gave me 7 because I put 1 to the side, another one of this, and I tied the other one. So it's very important, young people, that we learn about money now, because you know what? They're not really going to teach it to you in school. And by the time you get out of high school, you probably could be in debt. So a lot of this stuff you might not understand now, but the stuff you do understand or kind of understand, because you know you got to save. You know I have this little bank that I put nickels and dimes and just random change in it. And I think I have like $119.41 in or something. Now, when I fill it up, my 14-year-old doesn't know when it's filled, I'm going to cash it in and I'm going to give her the money. Now, it's taken me about 3 years to save that. I got a whole savings, but just in the house, that's something that you can do. Just save some quarters, save some dimes, that little money, that little birthday money grandma give you, put that to the side. Do something with it. But we'll talk about that and more. But before we start any of that, you know, we got to talk about the rules. I've been gone for a week, but I know y'all still know the rules. Rule number 1, pay attention. It's very important to pay attention. Now, if you can't understand something, just put it in the chat. Mr. Griffin, Mr. Cole, I don't really understand. We'll stop. We'll make it understandable. How about that? Okay. We don't want anybody to say, I don't know what they talking about. We want you to put in the chat, hey, Griff, what are they talking about? Or help me understand. Help me understand is an awesome way to ask for help. Okay. So rule number 1, pay attention. Rule number 2, ask questions in the chat. I don't know what's going on. Help me understand. What's today? I don't know. You can ask whatever you want in the chat. Okay. Rule number 1, pay attention. Rule number 2, ask questions in the chat. Rule number 3, don't be this person. Come prepared. Where's my mama? Have all your stuff in front of you. Okay. Come prepared. Rule number 4, be respectful. You don't have to be mean to people in the chat. You don't have to be mean to who we're talking to. And rule number 5, and I made this up a couple weeks ago, have some fun. What are you talking about? Mentor, mentor, She know, Miss Nicole know. Go ahead, Miss Nicole, talk to him.
Woo! I love having fun. I love Mentive. I love all of that. Thank you guys so much for coming back. We already finished 2 weeks. We are on week 3. So we are halfway through the Madam Walker Legacy Center Summer Institute. Thank you again for joining us. We are going to be here every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday until next week, the 29th. That Thursday is going to be our last day.
Oh,
I know. Week 1, we talked about social justice. Last week, we put a spotlight on the arts. This week is all about entrepreneurship and philanthropy. And then next week, we're going to close out with science and technology. We've had a very, very full lineup, but you know what? We haven't gotten, though, some work from you guys. I need you guys to tag us or email us. I'm going to stick it in the chat here. Your work. I want to see your dances. I want to see your artwork. We need all of that. We need all of that. And also, we updated the prizes. You guys are not going to want to miss this one. So we're going to be giving prizes based on your attendance, based on what you submit, and then based on your business plan that you're going to put together, which you guys are going to learn about today. The prizes are going to be gift cards of either $250, $150, and $25. So that is big money.
Wait a minute. Let me make sure I was kind of hearing this wrong. I actually wasn't doing number 1 and I wasn't paying attention, but did you say $250?
I said $250, 250.00.
Wow, come on, kids. You know what you could do with $250? Actually, you don't know what you could do with $250. That's why we having financial literacy today. It's going to be awesome. That's
a lot of tacos. That's at least 220 tacos.
That's a ridiculous amount of tacos, Nicole, that I don't even if you bought all the tacos you could with $250 and shared them with everybody in the chat, you could still have some money left.
Yes. Still have some money and tacos left over.
Should I bring on our guests then?
Bring them on.
Okay, awesome, guys. Okay, so we want to kick off today's event in the Madam Walker Legacy Center 2021 Virtual Summer Institute by introducing the 100 Black Men of Indianapolis. Founded in 1984, the 100 Black Men of Indianapolis is a non-for-profit youth development organization that serves several hundred Indianapolis youth each year through mentoring-based educational programs. Their members and volunteers come from diverse backgrounds with a common commitment to help children succeed in all the different aspects of life and to help their development. So, like kids, it's a lot of words. The 100 Black Men are awesome. Okay, they're helping people. They're giving back. They're going to help us today. We don't need bios that we don't understand. We just know today is going to be a fun day and we're going to learn about money. So I give you guys the 100 Black Men of Indianapolis. Let's go!
Wow. Thank you for that great welcome.
Jeffrey, what color do you feel like?
I don't think I've heard a cowbell to introduce me, but I appreciate it. And I may have to start asking for that as my, intro.
Jeffrey, what color, Mr. Jeff, what color do you feel like today?
Oh, I feel like a fuchsia, a nice, bright fuchsia.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Like it.
And my favorite subject in high school was electronics class. I happened to have gone to Broad Ripple High School here in Indianapolis and at the time they had different vocational classes. And so when I was a freshman, I did their introduction to the vocational arts. And once I got to the 6-week session where they did the electrical electronics, I ate that up. And by the end of my freshman year, the teacher basically kind of had me acting as his teaching assistant unofficially. So,
Oh,
so
nice.
so
Nice.
yeah, so anyway, so
We didn't
but
have that when I was in high school.
I know it's unfortunately, unfortunately that's changed, and I'm sure anybody who's had to hire an electrician, you probably wish it had come back so you could have maybe it's something that you could have had one of your kids or a relative know how to do, so you wouldn't have had to spend $100 an hour for a professional electrician. But
Oh, wait a minute. I thought you was talking about electrical, like robots or something. They taught y'all like vocation electrician stuff, like how to.
both. I mean,
Oh,
honestly, we didn't have
nice.
robotics back in the day. When I was in high school, but we did get into not just the basics of electricity, but also different electrical circuits. When I say
Cool.
electronic circuits, radios, TVs, so yeah. And honestly, that really was something that I was starting to get interested in even before high school. So yeah, so that was something I ended up turning into eventually going to school, studying engineering, and getting into the information technology field. So
I love it. So
yeah.
what are we going to talk about today with this money?
All right. Well, let me share my screen, and we are going to talk about a introduction to financial literacy. Now, the topic of financial literacy is pretty broad, and today I only have about 30 minutes to talk. So I may be moving kind of quick over some subjects. So definitely, if there's something that you really say, hey, wait a minute, I want to understand this, please stop in the chat, enter in the chat, and we'll take some time to focus on that and make sure your questions are answered. But I definitely just want to make sure, one, I introduce you to some concepts, and two, by the time we're done, I let you know where you can go to find out more information. So if that whets your appetite on how you can become more financially literate. So a little bit about myself besides what I did in high school. I'm currently the program chair of the Financial Literacy Committee for the 100 Black Men of Indianapolis. And that happens to be one of the 6 mentoring programs that we do. So this specific program has been in existence now for 20 years. And that is something that we are incredibly proud of. I mean, we've actually won national awards from our students in terms of their knowledge of financial literacy. So I know we have a good thing going, and we've definitely had students go on to study financial related fields in college as well. So, but no matter what you want to study, I mean, ultimately, financial literacy is something that is valuable for everybody. So. Let me go to the next slide here. Okay, today's agenda, let me just map. I'm really just going to touch on what is financial literacy, why it's important. We're going to touch on attitudes about money. Then we're going to talk about how wealth is created. Then we're going to get into some basics about financial literacy, which first and foremost is budgeting, or sometimes you might hear the term spending plans. Then we're going to focus some more on saving. And then lastly, we'll touch on investing. And again, it's really going to probably just touch on that. And then we're going to close out with how to learn more. So.
Hey, Jeffrey, pretend everybody, Mr. Jeff, pretend like everybody you talking to is 10 and running around the house while you talking to them. So
appreciate it. Okay, I will definitely try to keep it plain, and definitely Griff, right?
Yes.
If it sounds, yeah, please do stop me if it sounds like I'm getting, kind of trying to get too far ahead or over folks' heads. So
we got you. Let's go. Let's have some fun.
Absolutely. So. And definitely, I think money can be fun, it definitely can be, besides being profitable. So definitely let's keep it lively, and definitely keep any questions that you have, definitely populate that chat. So in a nutshell, what financial literacy is just being able to have the skills to understand and effectively use money. So when you hear the term, or you may have heard the term about personal finance and what, personal financial management, really what that comes down to, and most importantly and most basically, I mean, no matter what other cute terms or you might hear people try to throw out, it really comes down to saving, budgeting, and investing. And then ultimately, it's about your relationship with money and your attitudes about money. And then
tell us what a bad attitude about money is. Besides, money don't grow on trees, and only mean people have money. And
right. And that's something exactly that, that I think a big one, a bad attitude is that, I need, I can't, I don't have any money, so therefore I can't learn about it, or I'm not going to get rich because only the people who are already rich keep making more money. But
right.
So
and those are all things that aren't true and is negative thinking about money, correct?
Correct. And ultimately that's it. I think the most anything where you're thinking that somehow what you don't have limits and affects what you can have is a bad attitude about money. So
that's good.
The other thing, which I think is definitely very important, is that it's a lifelong journey. And I stress lifelong because one, when I first heard about the work that the Walker Center is doing with this summer program, I was excited about it because ultimately, even though the program that I've been working with is geared for high school students, this is geared for like what you guys in middle school and younger. That's where, I mean, ultimately, you're never too early to understand about money. I mean, again, you may not have a job, you may not have, or even think about what you want to do in life, but you still have a relationship with money. So the sooner you can understand that, the sooner you can start to think about what that means and how you can change whatever attitudes you currently have about money. And also how you can begin to see the world and how you can learn more about money. The sooner the better, because that's the one thing that you have that I don't have. I mean, you have time. When I think about it from the standpoint, I'm guessing at probably the oldest person who's a camper on this call is what, maybe 13, 14 years old.
Right.
I mean, that's, to me, the beauty of that is that's usually that's how wealth grows. It grows over time. Nobody instantly is going to become wealthy. Every once in a while, one in a billion times, you hear about somebody buys a lottery ticket and boom, they have millions of dollars. But that's one in a billion. So
Mr. Jeff, as a kid right now, what is the best way to start saving? Should we literally get a piggy bank? You hear mine. Is that so? I have this piggy bank, and what should I do with the money? Because every kid, every adult, every human being, we always say you acting like you got a hole in your pocket. You want to spend the money so bad. What's a great habit that we can start doing now, so as we get older, money won't be so distant from us? Like, with my kids, I taught them, if I give you 10, you really only got 7, because you got to put $1 into your savings, $1 in the tithe, and $1 in the investing. So,
and I think we'll touch on that too. That's really where it gets into actually planning what you're going to do with your money and having goals for what you want to do with the money that you get. So in terms of if you're, like you said, you got that piggy bank that you're putting those nickels and quarters in, that that maybe down the line, hey, there's maybe there's a game you want to buy,
right?
Or but that, okay, I'm not going to run out and do it now, but I'm going to put the money aside so that once it builds, then I can go out and do something with it, as opposed to saying, okay, well, I have this goal to save $50, but something comes up for $2 that maybe my friend wants me to spend that money on. And it's like, well, is that really aligned with what you really want, or is it what your friend wants? So I think that's in terms of having that understanding about yourself and knowing what it is you want, and having that goal that you want is, I think, a really helpful attitude to have. So,
Okay.
in terms of what makes it important as far as financial literacy, to me, it comes down to, in a nutshell, it's about giving yourself opportunities. And this is like looking to the future. I think the more you know about financial skills, and then when it comes, again, in terms of being able to save, being able to earn money, being able to build that money, that's really why you want to learn about it now versus waiting until you're in your 20s or in your 30s or later, because you have the opportunity to build that wealth now. So in terms of why is it important? Because, well, I mean, realistically, do not expect, if you want to become wealthy or you want to be wealthy, if you don't have a basic grasp and a basic understanding of financial literacy, and you're not, I mean, don't expect to become wealthy. The other big thing is about your future and having the opportunity and having choices about what your future looks like. So whether that is, I think it came up, Nicole mentioned about business plans. Well, if you want to be able to start a business, wouldn't it be great to be able to start that business based on your own savings that you have built up, say since you were in high school, or before you were in high school, and now, like, say you're an adult, you've just gotten out of college, and you've come up with this opportunity for a great business, but you have, instead of going around and hounding your friends and neighbors or family for seed money, you have your own money built up to go start your business. That's, I mean, to me, that's why it's important.
Seed money, young people, is money like if you ask your grandma for some money. Whenever you ask your grandma for some money, that's seed money for what you want to do. So
Right. And
that's just a nice way. That's just a nice way of saying, let me hold something. I need some seed money.
So, and that's incredibly important, because because usually, especially when you're somebody who is maybe like this is your first time as an entrepreneur, if you're going out and looking to a bank or something like that to borrow money, realistically, they probably are not going to loan it to you, because it's like, okay, you have this idea for a business, but you don't have any expertise, or at least any experience or any history of creating a business and being profitable with that. That's where it's important to be able, if you have seed money, and definitely if you have your own seed money, again, it gives you just those, that's just even better. So now let's take a minute and populate. What are your thoughts about what is wealth to you? What's it mean to be wealthy?
To be rich, to buy a PlayStation when I want to, an Xbox when I want to get all kind of Robux when I feel like it, buying clothes for my sister. I mean, that's, to me, that's what wealthy people do. Well, I watch Billions on TV, so I know what wealthy people really do. But for a kid, that's some of the stuff. Kids, put in the chat, what's some of this, what makes somebody rich and wealthy to you?
Wealthy to me is, do I have time to take a vacation? Do I have time to go hang out with my family and I don't have to worry that the lights are going to turn off in my house? That's wealth. Enough money, I don't have to worry about anything.
There you go. There you go. All right. So and definitely, Nicole, I like the fact that you talked about having the time and the opportunity to go do, because that's really what that's another big piece of it. I mean, I think for me personally, is just being able to do what you really want to do without regard for other people telling you what you must do or what you have to do. So
Mhm.
it's about choice. It's about having the choices to do things. So
Because you could want to buy a car but don't have no money to buy a car. But when you have money, you can go buy whatever car you want to, and not just them three in the back with the hood up.
yeah, there you go. I think somebody just yeah, plane tickets,
Absolutely.
Starbucks. I think being able to travel, being able to visit with who you want to visit or go to sites you want to see.
Get
So
out the hood. That's what I always wanted.
yeah.
I just wanted out the hood. I figured the only way out the hood is to be smart and to have some money.
Mhm. Okay, I see somebody talked about getting the school clothes that they wanted versus
Exactly.
probably what they used to have. So buying a whole building, I love that. I love that.
Think
So
big. Think big, Ishmael. I love it.
yeah. So well, let me divert here. Talking about my, as a kid growing up, we're one of the big department stores. I think what it used to be called Blocks or something, Airs or something like that. Um, Growing up, I didn't realize that it wasn't. I think I was probably in high school before I realized that they sold like clothes, especially kids' clothes, in the upper stores because it was just like my parents always went to the bargain basement. That's where what was in the bargain basement of the shop. But so that's where when it came for clothes to school, you bought what was in there or you got what was in there, whether it was something you really liked or not. It's what you got anyway. So
I was wearing my stepfather clothes some days to school, and that's real embarrassing when he a grown man and you trying to cuff up the jeans.
roll them but yeah, I mean, to me, that's really it. I think when we talk about our attitudes, often it comes down to what we can uh, spend our money on. And I think that's, and it's really, I'm not surprised by that because when you stop and think about it, the way our economy is based, it's a consumption economy. So we're really taught and focused upon going out and spending. I mean, if you watch television, if you read the papers, if you're online, pretty much any site you're on, it's got ads for it popping up all over the place that are trying to convince you that there are these things that you want to get or buy or places you want to go. But again, it comes down to you spending your money. So I think in terms of having wealth and having the ability to do just those things you want to do, I think that's where it's having a healthy attitude and knowing that it's about what you want, not what others want for you. That's really ultimately what's most important. So when we talk about creating wealth, it really is pretty. I hate to say it, but it's simple. It really comes down to you save more by saving more than you spend over time, and I have the time underlined, and then investing those savings into an area or areas where you have an advantage. Now, or you create an advantage. And that really comes down to, which we'll talk about later, where usually you have the advantage of time. That's when I talked about earlier. When you're younger, I mean, if you start saving now, you start learning how to invest like 10, 20 years down the road when you're still a young adult. You're going to be so far ahead than
Exactly.
someone who waits until they, say they go to college, say they go to a great college, say they get a great job, but they have no idea about how to save money yet, let alone how to invest money until they've already started into their career and they're probably making great money, which probably means they probably aren't saving it or probably spending it. You're going to be so far ahead of that. So,
Mr. Jeff, for example, like if I was in school and I was a kid and I drank 3 sodas every week, if I saved that soda money, instead of buying sodas and putting that same money aside, over time, I will have money saved.
absolutely. Yeah. And And that's the thing. It's really, it doesn't have to be big. You know, again, I think it's the attitude of thinking that you need to have a huge amount of money that you can then save and build up. It's really starting small, but starting and doing it and being consistent about it so that it builds over time. And then you'll get into and you'll take advantage of what's called compound interest. And
Jeff, these kids and compound interest, sir.
yeah. Well, let me define it for you. Really simple. It is if you hear the term compound interest, what it is, it's money making money.
Thank you.
That's really what it is in a nutshell. That's compounded. So it's where you've taken that. So how much a week would you say? Maybe you're saving $5, $10 from not drinking sodas.
Yeah,
so,
let's say $20 a month, $140 a year. Let's say I got $150 saved just for my soda money.
Yeah. So even with just a little bit of money or just a little bit of interest, say it's sitting in a bank and earning 1% interest, that's still only $1.50. So that's at the end of the year, you got like say $1.51. Well, even if you don't add more to it, at the end of 2 years, you'll have $1.53, $1.50, and that's doing nothing. Again, that's the money that you have. It's making money for you when you're doing nothing with it. But again, if you're being consistent and you can continue saving that, you can continue saving that $20 a month and putting that in there over time. And again, I don't have the figures with me, but I don't want to try to pretend to do the math in my head, but that's how you build wealth. It starts small, being smart about it, looking for those opportunities to invest. And also, again, another thing we talked about earlier, say, if you've been saving that $20 a month, 5-10 years down the road, you have that idea for, hey, I've got this business I think I could start. You've got something that you can then build upon that. And again, if you build a business, then you have that, especially if you feel that it's something that you have an advantage or that you can do better than anyone else, then you're going to get income from that business and that can grow. And of course,
I remember one time I told my daughter, maybe when she was 15 or 14, I was like, we ain't got no money to buy you them clothes or nothing. She said, oh, I didn't need the money. I just need a ride to the store. I said, well, how much money do you have? She said, I got like $471. And we was like, from what? And she said, from birthdays and Christmases. And I said, oh, very good. That's what we talking about. So, it does add up. And
yeah, exactly.
It's always awesome when somebody tell you they can't, for you to say, don't worry about it. I have it already.
Right. And to me, it's a beautiful thing, because then, like you said, they have that choice and they're exercising that choice.
That's right.
So that to me is the other beauty of it. So
you guys got to start telling your mom, hey, we have food at home.
Exactly. Hey, kids, let me tell you something. If y'all start saying, instead of passing McDonald's and Burger King and all the logos that you know by heart, Chick-fil-A and Pizza Hut and everything else, if you say, hey, Ma, I would like to keep the money you was going to give me for Chick-fil-A and put it in my savings. Watch how quick they're going to be to save money for you. Watch.
Mm-hmm.
Watch. It's a good idea, Miss Nicole.
Okay, sorry, hold on.
Why don't you guys drop in the chat? What are small things that you could do to save some money? What can you do when you think about your life?
What could you quit doing? Right.
Yeah.
What could you, like today, if you had to save money today, not for your parents, just for you, what could you tell your parents, don't worry about, use that money for something else? And kids, you want to have a quick adult kid hookup? Always tell your parents, don't worry about it, I don't need it. And then they'll get it for you, just because they appreciate you saying you don't need it. Now, you can't say that a bunch of times. You got to use it. at the right time. Money moves.
All right. Now let's talk about budgeting a bit. So I know I'm in terms of time, I'm cutting it close, so I may have to skip through some of these slides. I mean, we touched on money a little bit earlier, but just again, it gives you that freedom to purchase what you want. I think we did talk about what, wealth and what it means to you. So when you talk about income, I mean, it's either like, again, most of you, I mean, do you get an allowance? Maybe you have a part-time job or something, or you get gifts, like say you maybe get birthday money or just say you do the work and present some great business plans for this camp, and you get one of those $250
Exactly.
prizes. So call that. I'd call that earnings, because again, you're putting the work in and you're earning it. So, but
what about when you make a lemonade stand or go outside and sell you some cookies or so hey, I'm a hustler, kids. I be wanting to get some money. I've been wanting to get some money my whole life.
So in terms of money that you spend, it really comes down to that, at a very high level, it's versus things you need versus things you want. And examples of that, I mean, you also may hear the term of fixed expenses versus variable expenses. Example of a fixed expense could be something like if you say you have a cell phone bill every month that you have to pay. Again, this, for most of us, I would say a cell phone is pretty essential. You need a cell phone. So that's in terms of making sure you're paying that bill every month. If you're living on your own, you probably have rent or mortgage, you got to pay every month. So end of story, that's
gas, water, electricity, garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, it's some fixed expenses you're gonna need.
Oh yeah. So, oh, I'm sorry, skipped the wrong way. So first off, I mean, in terms of budget, you really need to understand where your money's going. So for a lot of people, you probably don't even have an idea. I mean, you probably money's coming in one hand and it may not even be touching your wallet or purse. It's going right out the other hand. So first off, you should really try to understand where your money is going and what you're doing with it right now. So that is, I mean, I'm not giving you homework, but I'm just saying, I think an ideal thing to do if you don't presently do that is for this between now and next Tuesday when you meet, actually track what you're spending your money on.
I like that.
Right. I mean, either write it. I mean, the easiest way is just to write it down on a little notepad or something, or throw it in, if you got a phone and you have a little note you keep, write it down. So then you can look at the end of the week, go through and say what was a need versus what you spent that was a want, and determine how, in terms of percentage of all the money you spent, how much were spent on, what percent was spent on what you needed versus what was spent on what you wanted. So, and then that's when you can look at, hey, there were, like maybe there were 5 sodas you had last week that you can then say, well, why don't I just go with 1 or 2? And that's money you can identify that you can then save for the future.
Nice.
So the other thing, again, this gets back into an attitude, is where if you need to develop that attitude where saving is not something that you want to do, or I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it next week, or I'm going to do it one of these days. It's like, no, that's a part of who you are. If you got, like Griff said, if you got $10 coming in, you got $20 that you're saving in the store. That's who you are. And if that becomes who you are, over time, you build something that you can then have the options to do what you want to do with it.
Basically, what he's saying, kids, is you don't want somebody to give you, say you get good grades. Say every time your grades come out, I know with my kids, our friends, grandparents, brothers and sisters, we give out money for good grades. We like kids that get A's and B's and that's it. And it's worth something. So instead of taking the $40 or $50 that you make from that and going out that day buying candy and buying something dumb, and dumb is relative. You could take that $40 and go spend 20, go crazy with 20, and then forget about the other 20. And now you saving. Like if I was a kid, I wish I would have put half of everything. Half of everything is a great kid idea. Somebody give you $10, say, oh man, thanks. And then when somebody say, you got some money, say, I got $5. That's it. I got $5. Just half of everything you get as a kid. Just save, just save, just save. Next thing you know, you're going to be like, man, I got $400 playing.
Yeah. And I think, Griff, that's an important point, because inevitably, and this is like whether you're 12 or whether you're 60, when it comes to money, there is always somebody who has ideas on what you can do with your money.
Absolutely.
So being able to say, when they're saying, hey, yeah, you should go spend $50 on something over here. Well, it's your money. Make sure if you do spend that is something you really want to spend that money on. If not, don't do it.
You know how you can not loan money to people? Start telling people right now, at the age you are right now, hey man, all my money is invested in stocks and small investments. Like they're gonna be like, oh wow, little kid, you got stocks. And even if you don't, just tell them that'll get them off you. Because remember, if you get 20, you only got 10.
That's it. Because again, if you want to take advantage of compounding and have that money making money, you first have to have that money someplace where it's making money for you. So. All right, we touched on a budget. That's really just a question of, you can have it all, you can be all formal and have it all defined on what you're going to, in a given week, what you're going to spend money on a given month. But I would say starting out, just make it plain. You can just be as simple as just saying, I would almost back into it to say, at a minimum, say there's amount that you want to save for that week or month. That, that's first and foremost at the top of your list in terms of what you want to do with your money. As you get more of it, then you can identify other places and set up other goals and on where you want that money to go. But first and foremost, I would take the savings first approach to when you identify what you're going to have in your budget. Why budget? I think we touched on that. You want to be able to have money available to do what you want to do with it in the future. So whether that's short term in terms of like over the next 2 months, you want to have some money saved up to be able to, well, it's almost go back to school time now. So maybe you want to, there's a specific outfit that you want to be able to buy that maybe your parents say you don't need that, but if it's something you want, if you save for it, you can go buy it. So I think we touched earlier about how to, calculating the budget, make sure it's first based upon what you know that you've already been spending your money on, and then you can be realistic about what you plan on spending it on in the future, or what you plan on not spending it on in the future and saving. So,
and it's another phrase you can start telling your parents: will you match that? Now what match that means is, you say, hey, this year I'm gonna save for a PlayStation 5. I'm gonna save my money for a PlayStation 5. So then you ask your parents, if I save $250, will you match that? And that means they will give you $250. So now you got $500. And then you can say, you know what? I ain't even really want a PlayStation. I just got you for your $250, mom and dad. No, I'm just playing. Don't We gotta wrap up soon, Mr. Jeff, man. What's the most important thing you want to leave the kids with as far as money goes?
start now. I mean, in terms of one, just start doing anything, what you can to, one, understand what you're doing with the money you have now. Start to save money, look for ways that you can save money, and then look for ways to start learning what you can do to make that money grow. So
I love it.
I'm trying to get to a window where let me close up. And I can leave this with, but if somebody can grab a screen share of where, just in terms of where you can go to find out more information. Definitely for more details about the Dollars and Cents Financial Literacy Program that I work with and work on. I would love to have those of you who are going to be freshmen coming up this year. Please definitely go to that link, and you can then find out information about how to sign up for the program. The other thing, I left the email address, the financial literacy at 100blackmennd.org. Definitely any questions you have in the future about what we talked about today, or just in general about financial literacy, drop us an email. We'll definitely try to answer it, and if we something we can't answer, we'll let you know that and get you the names of some people who maybe can. So
thanks, Mr. Jeff. Mr. Jeff, real quick, what you know about crypto? Enough?
It's personally, I have yet to directly invest in any crypto.
Okay, that's all I want to know.
And I'm not saying you shouldn't, but it's in terms of what we call classes of assets and types of investments. I would say it's still very risky. I mean, so that wouldn't be the first thing I would recommend you invest in.
Right. Well, we appreciate you, Mr. Jeff. Everybody, y'all know what to do in the chat. Thank Mr. Jeff like this. Just put anything, just use anything. There you go, Ishmael. Ishmael know how to do it.
I love it.
Yeah, we don't, it's not, this is applause, because no one can see how everybody in the code is. That's awesome. How we do it, just like that. Right. We appreciate you, Mr. Jeff. Can you switch the camera to me and Ms. Nicole?
I will. And I just want to again say thank you all for having me on. I mean, the time flew by. So so I would definitely, in the future, if there's something that comes up, definitely, this has been a great opportunity for us. Always look forward to the chance to talk about finance and financial literacy to young people. Honestly, the younger, the better. So.
Thank you, Mr. Jeff.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us again today. If you guys have any last minute questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Maybe we'll get to them before we leave.
Yes.
So
what'd you learn, Ms. Nicole?
That I need to save my money. And no, I don't always need that cup of coffee. I have
you drink coffee?
I drink coffee.
You straight to Starbucks with yours?
Not Starbucks, but I like my other coffee shops.
Okay. So you drink it every day, couple times, 5 times a week, like every day?
I'm drinking maybe 3 cups of coffee a day. But see, if you guys feel like, oh man, I really love that, treat yourself every once in a while. You don't need it every day or a couple times a week. Even if you can't cut it out completely, just less helps, because less is still $5-10 more that you wouldn't have had if you had just done what you always did.
Look, y'all thought I was playing. I told y'all I get down. Can you see it? Why ain't on the big screen? Share the screen so they can see me too. Look at this. Y'all, I know y'all can hear it. You looking at Mr. Cole.
No, they can see you. You're looking at me.
Okay. Look, and then that's the little, so it's the little new one where you could, when you put the money in, it come out. I was trying to give y'all example, but I literally don't have a dime around me. Hold on, let me look in here. Oh yeah, there goes something. Hold on. No, that's Canadian money. God bless it. I knew it would be something weird. Okay, yeah, I don't have a quarter or nothing that I can show you my little fresh bank. And these banks, these new banks, this is from Sharper Image. I feel like I'm doing a commercial. This bank is from Sharp. We're gonna call this the Mr. Jeff Bank. That's what I want to call this. Mr. Jeff was giving y'all some nuggets, but in the end, it's like this: save some money, man. Even if your parents, even if you don't hear your parents save, because when I grew up, I didn't hear my parents talk about, hey, we should save some money. Hey, you know, to be fun, let's save some money. So what me and my wife did, you know, I got married in December. So me and my wife said, you know what, this year, we just want to save $10,000. Let's just have $10,000 by the end of the year that's saved and untouched. And we've been saving. It's been fun. We've been saving. We like looking at how much we've been saving. And the pace that we're on right now, we looking at about saving 15, 18 G's at the end of the year. So right now, like Mr. Jeff was talking about, I was thinking about, what can I invest my money in? If I got almost 20,000, I might want to buy a Chick-fil-A or go into learn about real estate. Like I want to learn about real estate, but I don't want to learn about real estate. Like I would rather give somebody my money and let them do real estate. What would you do with 15 extra thousand?
I'm a realtor. If you want to buy something in India, I got you, Mr. Griff.
Listen. Look, Mr. Go, I got a guy. Hey,
I am that guy.
I love it. Hey, you guys, make sure you
tag
share
us.
your work at Walker Theater. You can go, let me see, is it right here? Yes, right here. You get, take screenshots of the Zoom. You can maybe make a video or take a picture of you with your money. Like I'm gonna take a picture with my bank and then I'm gonna put it on the Walker Theater. And Jeff says, if anyone does a budget over the next week, plus feel free to share it with him too. How about that? And if you share it at the Walker Theater, we'll make sure that gets to Mr. Jeff. And here, how about that? This is what Mr. Griff gonna do. And we just added this just now. If you show me your budget diary from today, if you show me, like if you say, today I spent this on today at this time and this time, if you show me next week, next Tuesday, whoever shows me their budget diary, the first person to show me their budget diary, I will put $25 in your budget. How about that?
Gonna match you.
I will. No, I'm not gonna match you because who knows?
Not gonna match you, but
I'm not gonna match you.
Match that $25 gift card that you could get.
That's right. I got you on a gift card. How about that? So we appreciate
Mr.
you
Griff.
guys coming out today.
Mr. Griff.
What's up, Mr. Jeff?
I tell you what. I will throw in to the first four who. Well, make it the first five because you're gonna match the first one. So those following four people who show you their budget, I'll give $25 towards their.
See, Mr. Jeff, you should have said that in the beginning. Listen, Mr.
Guys, there
Jeff,
is money on the table.
Money on the
Don't miss out.
table. Mr. Jeff, Mr. Griff, the first five people that show us their budget diary. And if you remember what the budget diary is, we are going to give you $25 to add to your budget. That's so cool. Come on. Woo. I love camp. Thank you, Mr. Jeff.
So yeah, no, just like I said, I think it's because to me that's so fundamental. So
yes.
Getting them into that habit of doing it. So I definitely want to encourage that. So once we're done, I'll make sure I can get the funds to you.
Oh, we're gonna get your money, Mr. Jeff.
Oh yeah,
don't worry about that.
Whenever you wrap up. So, I have no doubt. So
right, you good for it, Mr. Jeff. You good for it.
After me, when do I get it? So
And don't forget, guys, that budget diary is saying what's coming in, what's going out. I'm gonna do one too. All that down.
I'm gonna do one starting today. Look, I got my little. He said use a little notepad. I got my little notepad, and I'm starting today on Tuesday at 2:00 Eastern, 1:00 Central. So we will see you guys not next week. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, you guys. Tag
is
us, send us your stuff, and take that poll right at the end, okay? Right when you close out, take that too, okay? Thank you, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
And remember, a budget diary is writing down everything that you spend. You don't have to say diary if you don't want to. Just write down everything that you spend between now and next Tuesday. Have a nice day, Miss Nicole. Thank you, Mr. Jeff.
Bye, you guys. Bye, Mr. Griff. Welcome back. Thank you, Mr. Jeff.
Mensa. Give me some real estate, Miss Nicole. Stop playing.
Woo! I got you. I really do.